So the big question is this: how do small business owners like us grow our leadership, develop our teams, and scale our business in a way that allows us to get our products and services out to the world, yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. I'm Bradley Hamner, and this is the Club Capital Leadership Podcast. Welcome to The Bottom Line, a new weekly podcast series that we drop every Thursday to complement our weekly Monday podcast interviews with the industry leaders. These podcasts are going to be designed to give you short, impactful, and value-driven information that you can start using right away in your business. I value your time and attention and will do my very best not to waste it. Just get what you need and go. So with that, let's get into today's episode. Are you an agency owner looking to grow your revenue, increase your bottom line, and better manage your taxes? Club Capital is here to help. Club Capital is the largest accounting and advisory firm for insurance agents in the country, providing monthly accounting, tax strategy, and CFO services. Way more than bookkeeping and your everyday run-of-the-mill tax prep, Club Capital is focused on providing financial and tax advisory services that help you plan and forecast your agency's performance. Their financial dashboards and agency forecasting tools help you better understand your agency's historical performance, create and measure future targets, and see how your agency compares to your peers around the country. Imagine what it would be like to understand the impact to your bottom line when deciding to hire a new employee, or forecast the impact rate changes or commission rates will have on your business. With over $200 million in tracked annual revenue and $140 million in tracked annual expenses, Club Capital has the data and the team to help you make better informed decisions for your agency. They will help you turn that back office stress into the backbone of your agency's success by giving you the tools to take your agency and your leadership to the next level. Visit club.capital today to book a solution overview with one of our business consultants. Club Capital, way more than a CPA firm. Are you an agency owner looking to grow your revenue, increase your bottom line, and better manage your taxes? Club Capital is here to help. Club Capital is the largest accounting and advisory firm for insurance agents in the country, providing monthly accounting, tax strategy, and CFO services. Way more than bookkeeping and your everyday run-of-the-mill tax prep, Club Capital is focused on providing financial and tax advisory services that help you plan and forecast your agency's performance. Their financial dashboards and agency forecasting tools help you better understand your agency's historical performance, create and measure future targets, and see how your agency compares to your peers around the country. Imagine what it would be like to understand the impact to your bottom line when deciding to hire a new employee, or forecast the impact rate changes or commission rates will have on your business. With over $200 million in tracked annual revenue and $140 million in tracked annual expenses, Club Capital has the data and the team to help you make better informed decisions for your agency. They will help you turn that back office stress into the backbone of your agency's success by giving you the tools to take your agency and your leadership to the next level. Visit club.capital today to book a solution overview with one of our business consultants. Club Capital, way more than a CPA firm.
Hey, everyone. So at the time that this podcast is going to drop, many of you are either getting prepared, depending on where you are in the country, getting prepared for spring break, or maybe you have just already gotten back from a spring break trip, and you're certainly going to be looking forward to summer. And so with summer, with spring break comes going to the beach. Now, I'm not much of a beach person myself. I would much rather be at the lake, but and do enjoy going to the beach at least once, maybe twice a year. Well, here's the analogy I want to have for you. We've talked a lot about vision on the podcast, whether it's through a solo episode I've done or having many different guests on the Wednesday episodes or certainly our Mondays. Well, as a business owner, you have a vision for how big you want your company to be and where you want it to be one day. And I've talked about the value of having a 3-year vision specifically. Well, look, whether that's a $1 million business or $100 million empire, the key to achieving that vision is having the foundations and structures early on. And so let me give you this analogy. Let's say you have a plot of land. It's in Destin. It's prime location. And so you have 3 options. You can build a shack, you can build a house, or you can build a 50-story condominium. Well, depending on what you're going to build at the beach, that is going to dictate how deep your pylons need to be, how wide the foundation is. So think about that. If you have a shack, you're going to sell snow cones out of it. You don't really have to have much of a foundation really at all, do you? Well, if you're going to build a house, they're going to require you to have, it's going to be so many feet above the ground. It's going to have, the pylons are going to have to go so deep into the ground to be able to build that house. But conversely, if you're going to put a hotel on that piece of property, you're going to put a condo on that piece of property, I don't even know how deep you have to be able to build that foundation into the sand, or how wide the base needs to be. You see, you think about it, if you said, I've got this plot of land, I want to be able to really monetize it, and I'm going to build a condo. Well, as you were starting to build, if you then said, you know what, hey, we're going to continue to build some more, we're going to have to make our foundation deeper and wider. It wouldn't work. You actually have to build the right foundations and structures now. Well, that's all dependent upon what your vision is for where you're going. If your vision is to be able to build $1 million business, well, there's a certain amount of structure. There's a certain amount of foundational systems and processes, things you've heard before, to be able to make that happen. But if you're going to build a $10 million company, that's a totally different level of systems and processes that you've got to be able to build. For many of you, I know you have the desire to be able to have multiple different businesses as part of your overall portfolio. Well, even having multiple businesses is to be able to say, okay, I've got to have more systems and processes. If I don't want a $500,000 company, I won't have one business. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But the level of systems, the level of structure in the organization is just not the same as what is required to build a $100 million company. Somebody I work with has an opportunity. I truly do believe he's sitting on a $100 million opportunity. And he just got started about a year ago or so. He's already hit $1 million run rate. I think that with the opportunity in the marketplace, I think he can get to 4 or 5 million over the next 12 to 24 months. I think in the next 4 to 5 years, he'll hit 10 million. I think his vision is to go to 100 million. Well, he's making decisions. He's putting certain systems in place now that's going to allow him to be able to build there, because this is what's important. The idea for me that's helped me, and hopefully I'm able to impart this on to all of you, is depending on where you see and what you're trying to accomplish, that dictates the level of structure and foundation you need to do today. Because what if it actually takes that to get there, as opposed to, well, I'll get there, and then once we're there, then I'll build the route foundations and structures. It's like building at the beach. You can't do that. You can't say, well, we're going to build a house and we'll build the structure and foundation big enough just for a house. And then if we decide we want to build a condominium, well, you can't do it. You don't have the right foundation in place. And so I think as you're building the school boards, as you're building the playbooks or the SOPs, the level of detail and the number that you build, all of those type of things, as very specific examples, are going to be dictated on what you're going to is going to be dictated on what your vision is for the business. And so if you have a business, you have the vision to be able to have multiple different locations, multiple different businesses that you want to be able to manage it all, and you don't want it to be to where it's taking all of your time to do it, then those are the things that you can begin to build today. Don't wait until you say, well, I'll get there one day, because that one day may never come, because you actually didn't build the right foundation and structure that would allow that type of business growth to happen. I hope that helps. I hope that analogy, I've shared this with several people the last couple of weeks, and they immediately like, okay, I get it. That makes sense. That foundation, that structure, those systems, those level of processes are what's needed in order for me to get to the growth, instead of I'll grow and then I'll build the right operating system for the business. All right, everyone. Sorry, Ali. All right, everyone. Hope that served you. Till next episode, lead well.